Hey everyone, today is August 1st of 2020. That's the day I'm recording this video, although it's not the day you're going to see it. But I wanted to record this video today because today would have been my 23rd anniversary with my ex-husband. And I'm going to read a poem about him. We have been divorced for 7 years, but we were married for 15. The math is not quite working on that, so it must be different. 16, I don't know. Anyway, he was my best friend when I married him. My absolute best friend. We were so close. And over the years, I watched him change. Due to his struggle with his sexuality, he became a very abusive partner, which was a confusing dynamic. And I don't know if, many people realize this about some domestic violence stories, but some of us marry our best friends. And people change. And I'm so grateful that about 2 weeks ago, after at least 7 years apart, whatever it's been, we were able to embrace, and he was able to apologize very sincerely for everything that he did to me, even saying, "I'm sorry, I hurt my best friend." And I'm sorry. It was a very healing moment for me, and also a very hard one, because so much of those feelings of love just came rushing back in, just what I had lost years ago when things started to change. So apologize for my emotions, but I think you can understand them. So I want to read a poem about him today. I wrote a whole book about being married to a gay man, even though of course I didn't realize that he was that for several years after we were married. And then he's only come out in the last 7 or 8 or whatever it's been. So I'm going to read a poem from this book that I wrote that has not been published yet. I hope it will be soon. And this poem has also not been published, so I'm really happy to share it with you today. And I'm hoping it brings me a little closure. And I just want to invite you into this space with me where I'm seeking some closure and some solace, and say thank you for listening to this poem. The poem is titled Divorce. My husband had honey-colored eyes and honey-colored hair, and he broke his teeth into the flesh of a strawberry as though it were something to jump rope with, never a bleed of juice left on his lips. His shoulders were shrined in cotton year-round, taut to the bone with summer rituals of baling hay, and in winter the rigor of shovels or pulling our children in sleds. He could bounce a smile off an egg freshly dropped from our chickens in the barn behind the house, where he spent hours adapting the rhythm of a pitchfork to his tenor, its strong, sonorous vibrato rising over the grunts of his horses, all of which he nuzzled daily, kissed and called by name, commanding them to lift their legs, inspecting their hooves, digging mud and rock out of their shoes. And they did with ease because they knew he loved them. He would with equal care tighten the lids on every jar of jam we canned together with berries we had picked together, cleaned, then cooked. And after a long day of barn work in jars, cooling on towels in the kitchen, he'd wash the sweat off of his body in the shower, careful to turn on the overhead fan to keep the bathroom from filling with steam. That night, I would lie next to him in bed, with my eyes rove the stubble of his jaw, under his chin, down the steeple of his neck, answer the shallow of his breath with my questions. Thank you for both celebrating this day that would have been our anniversary and also sharing this space of lament with me.